G'day team, and welcome to a banger of a match that we have the pleasure of reviewing today. And the highlight of this match were these two guys here. Will on the RAZE on ICEBOX, ZexRow on the Killjoy, no Sage in sight on Dark Ratio's team, and they do end up knocking out Stewie2k and Wardell's team, the Nation, to go on and qualify for NA challenges. Now, I just spent an hour recording, unbeknownst to me, that my mic connection wasn't going through, so there's an hour's worth of footage muted, so I have to re-record this whole thing. Please, if you enjoy the content, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me to be able to grow this channel and get these videos out to as many people as possible. So at the start of round 8 here, the Nation get off to a great start. They got 5-2 against Dark Ratio, and they get the sixth round, their sixth round in round 8 here. But we do get a tech pause, and I want you guys to have a listen to what the casters have to say.
This game, we thought that it would be closer, not gonna lie, and this ICEBOX is just not giving us, not giving it to us.
Bro, it's just started. Guys, don't listen to Upmind. It's literally just started.
I'm trying.
Don't worry. The game has just begun. Listen, the game has just begun. I still have hopes. Will is getting shut down, but you know, he's 100 Thieves Will.
100 Thieves Will, he is indeed, or at least was. I mean, technically his game name is still 100T Will. Sully is a Noah. Upmind should change his name to Lost His Mind, because Will was such an amazing pickup for Dark Ratio and a key component to their success. Dark Ratio has been so dominant on ICEBOX. Let's have a look at some of their stats. All right, check this out. The 4 times that Dark Ratio has been allowed to have ICEBOX at this tournament, they go 13-1 against Division 0, 13-7 against NSIC, 13-5 against Rat Attack, and then close out against the Nation 16-14. The most remarkable stat to me is this 80% defensive round win rate. That is a tongue twister, going 32-8 in the 40 rounds they've played on defense at this tournament. And the stars of the show on this ICEBOX comp have definitely been Will and ZexRow. In 79 rounds, Will has gone 88-43 with 17 assists. ZexRow not far behind, a casual 79-43 with 13 assists too. These guys have absolutely been fragging out, but you've also got to give major credit to their teammates who are setting them up with brilliant util usage, setting these guys up for success and getting them into the positions where they can frag out. So now that you guys are aware, let's get into this banger of a match so you guys can be aware of the details of what Dark Ratio are doing on ICEBOX. So like I said before, Dark Ratio gets off to a bit of a slow start here, but they start turning it around in this round 9, and Will leads a great execute here. So let's break it down. There's a lot that happens in this first couple of seconds. Gets completely flashed by this great KO flash, which also has the secondary effect of protecting this dart, which is going to come into nest and get 3 full scans off. Will is on top of belt, and he's about to come flying in with double satchels and his ultimate out. So they keep going along, and then he gets tagged by the KO knife. The defensive KO knife shuts down his showstopper, but with the Hunter's Fury and this recon dart, he's able to continue just sending it forward. And Will is a demon with the rifle. I think Will was really unlucky in 2022 with the chamber meta. The agent definitely didn't suit him. He's much better on this real entry fragging type role rather than the op wielder. And we saw a lot of duelists adapt to being the chamber players on their teams, but Will's real strength lies in what he does in this round, where he's able to get in and frag out. And the irony of it is that Cryo got picked up by 100 Thieves because of his dominance on chamber throughout 2022. And I'm not saying that Cryo can't play anything else. He's a very good player overall. But who knows? If the timeline's a little bit different, maybe Will remains on the starting 100 Thieves roster, or maybe Cryo's a better fit for them overall anyway. But continuing with this round, you can see Will fly in, and he's just absolutely able to wreak havoc. Gets the first pick on Tig, and then gets the second one on Rossi, and then almost gets Stewie with the third through the smoke. And you can see he's just done a great job entering for his team with that supportive util. And then a little bit of value from the RAZE boombot is going to come in here and clear out all of backside as well as screens, along with this KO knife. So the RAZE pick getting even more value with that boombot. The nade for Will makes it also really dangerous to play around maze and close into sight. He's going to get a lot of value from that grenade later in this game as well. And you can see this is just a really tough spot here for the Nation. They do get the opening frag, they trade out, and that gets traded. Now we're in a 2v2, but clock's ticking down. Really tough spot. They have no real space to work with. Shock Dart comes in. They lose the fights, and Ange gets into this really nice position on Nest. And Trick trades out Wardell to finish this round. Really nice round. The Nation almost got themselves back into it, but Dark Ratio, on the back of Will's entry and how well that was supported, just made it too hard for the Nation to really come back in that round. So I think this RAZE pick is actually great, and it might have been a little bit of a happy accident with wanting to get Will on that real entry role. They might have discovered something that's really, really strong and could be an indicator of how the ICEBOX meta develops through 2023, with a lot of the really aggressive operator angles becoming less relevant with the chamber and jet nerfs. It changes the way that the operator is used on ICEBOX. There's still lots of long angles to get lots of value out of the operator, but seeing it on Sentinels, like we do in this round as well, Wardell with the operator and ZexRow picking up the operator too, we could see more of this Sentinel operator type player. We're definitely going to see teams experimenting with different roles and agents having the operator. And this round 11 shows you that you can definitely get a lot of value out of it. Here we have Wardell with the operator on yellow, holding this jump peak. The dart's going to come out with the flash, and then he misses this jump peak throw that drone comes out with. And then Will, with the satchel, gets himself over to yellow really, really quickly. Is able to create this pressure. They're not even able to hold that cross, and now they're forced to play all the way back. Now this comp doesn't have a Sage, so going B is a little bit more difficult, and one thing that they have to do is make sure that they control this space so that no one's able to come through and deny this. They do get the plant down here, they hold this space, and then as soon as the plant is down, Will comes and falls back. They play Trick out in this one-off position. Stewie tries to clear out Ange, who's on this late lurk, and as soon as he gets that kill and gets numbers up, he returns to the team. You can see him rotating back through B main. And then with the operator, again, see the value that it's getting. Wardell, obviously the op academy guy, uses the op quite frequently. ZexRow with a really nice play here. Plays too far deep into the lockdown and does get detained, but that's the risk he was willing to take, using that one way with a crouch peek. Gets himself a kill with the operator, and then Wardell gets himself back on this yellow angle that's super duper strong. Clears this out, comes out pre-aimed swinging, does eventually get traded by the operator from ZexRow as well, but not in time to stop the defuse. Brax sticks it, and they do win that round. But you see the space that Will is able to create in that round to help get that spike down, but also mainly the operators. Very much an op duel round, this round 11, and I think that could also be an indicator of what we see in 2023. Stacky, why aren't we looking at the defensive half for Dark Ratio? And to that I say, don't worry. Here it is. We're going to start off with round 15 here. I just want to show you this nice little opening play here that Will gets off with the support from Drone. So Drone's going to get this knife here that's going to knife any very close aggression from Belt. And then he's going to flash Will in. And Will picks up this kill on Rossi. Sprays over to Brax. Almost gets Wardell here and jumps away. Now, if he's not suppressed here, you know, he does get hit by the knife. But you're able to take this fight and then also satchel away. You can throw your satchel like this and get yourself off of pipes very, very quickly. So this is another advantage to RAZE. Using those satchels similar to an updraft, they're obviously not as quick, but you're still able to do it. It just creates a huge advantage, making this a 5v3. And then Dark Ratio play this round out really nicely and convert the 5v3, which forces the Nation onto an eco. They've got a Bulldog and 2 Sheriffs, so they can make something happen. They've got a bit of light armor as well. And this round is really, really nice. ZexRow plays this round so well. So what they do, they set up with a little bit of a stack on A. They get some early aggression. They get the Sova Dart out for early info. And then they also get this mid info here with the alarm bot and the turret. More early aggression denial here with the Viper Molly too, just to stop any kind of rush, allowing themselves to set up and get some info. And then Tig walks all the way up into kitchen and breaks this turret, which creates a lot of pressure for Dark Ratio. You can see movement happens straight away. ZexRow is forced to fall back. He's playing, he doesn't want to re-enter kitchen. They're in a dangerous spot. It also pulls Ange away from sight. He can no longer hold B main. He has to watch and hold orange. And then ZexRow pops this ultimate. It's a very strange and peculiar ultimate, but I think it's absolutely incredible. And this is fantastic because look at the spacing of Dark Ratio. They're a bit spread out against this eco potentially, and they don't want to give away any guns. So ZexRow puts this at the bottom of the stairs, which actually sort of encourages the eco risk. If they are in kitchen, it forces them to go fast. They can take this risky play to try and push out and break it, but ZexRow is just going to be holding this angle with a rifle, and drones right here to play off of him as well. Earlier in the round, they also caught KJ when she was standing here with this KO knife. And so that they know that there's at least one lurking, and what they want to do is they want to control mid, and then they're going to go for a retake. So they actually just let them walk onto site. Ange gets the mollies down to try and deny this plant, and he just plays really, really safely, doesn't want to give away his rifle on site. And you can see the value of the sage wall here, allowing Wardell to plant safely and also get a very nice open plant. ZexRow gets tagged by the turret, and then as soon as the smoke comes up, he just waits a second and sprays to it, gets a free one. Now that they've dealt with that Viper, they're going to regroup quickly and try and push onto site. They are a little bit wary of the Killjoy potential lurk, but then they're just going to go ahead and take this duel. What they do is they just run in all together with their rifles. They don't even try and tap the spike. It gets mollied off anyway. They just want to take these duels against the weaker guns. Nice shot there from Stewie to get one back, but they close out the round very, very easily there. And that Killjoy ultimate allowed them to regroup and clear out the mid flank as quickly as possible. They didn't have to worry about all of the different potential ways that they could have lurked in. They just get forced back out, and then they can retake control of mid, which allows them to hit site really, really fast. We're going to continue to see some more high IQ plays here from Dark Ratio on the B site here in this round. Ange and Will playing back, playing towards yellow, playing quite safe. And then as soon as this KO knife lands, look, Will walks forward. He gets into this aggressive angle. In that duelist role, he wants to take a fight, and he gets that unexpected angle against Stewie. Trades him out with the help of Ange right behind him. They get a 2v1 fight, and then they fall back off. They're happy to give that space a little bit. They're going to re-clear it with the drone. The boom bot, I mean, the drone, by drone. And they're just going to hold up and wait to see the aggression here that Dark Ratio comes out with. The one-way stalls them off again. And we can jump forward because the Nation, they cut noise and everything's a little bit slow. They spread out themselves a little bit. They've got 2 in B main, and they've got 3 that are going to go up mid. And Dark Ratio don't have any information A, so they do have to sort of go and spread themselves up. And they're going to play in these safer spots and try and get the information before they go for this site. And then we get this ultimate from the Nation. So they pop it in B main, and then they send 3 up tube here. And look at the awareness from ZexRow.
Surely they might expect one, but do they expect 3 people?
Jump spots this and gets away, and then comes and plays in this incredible off angle. There's so many spots that you have to clear when you're coming out of that window. So ZexRow gets the full fight advantage, and then they are able to shut down this push. Spike falls down in kitchen. I don't know about sending the spike through kitchen with that 3-man push. I think they're trying to get the Viper ult in kitchen there. Problem with this idea is that this Killjoy ultimate funnels everybody into kitchen or snowman. It's the only places that the defenders can play. And so you kind of gamble a little bit that they're going to go snowman, but any of the A rotators are going to come through kitchen as well. So they want to take this fight. I would have actually sent 4 through kitchen here to guarantee that you get this space, and then you can send the 1 late main to create that pressure and almost have it like a flank. A cool idea from the Nation overall, but great awareness from ZexRow shuts it down completely. I want to show you this moment from round 22. He's got this nade lineup ready that's going to hit default and deny the plant. That doesn't end up happening. He instead walks forward here, pulls his gun out so he doesn't get shot, but then uses his nade here to destroy the Killjoy lockdown. Huge value for the RAZE. Another great reason to pick RAZE on ICEBOX. The Nation just get themselves into too deep of a position, and Dark Ratio aren't able to clear it out in time. But holy moly, strap yourselves in for the next 4 rounds. The Nation got 2 match points over Dark Ratio. Dark Ratio backs against the walls, and let's have a look at how they play this round. How they set up is 2 really strong anchors. So Viper with her ultimate on top of the pit knows the lineup to not get the one that gets stuck just on pipes. The way that they set this up as well is they get early info on belt, they get early info on mid, and that early info really allows them to play in towards this anchoring style. ZexRow playing behind yellow with this very interesting Viper wall, which also cuts off the orange mid push too. Dark Ratio head up towards B. The Sova drone in mid spots out the Killjoy lurking. She crosses over as well. And then the walls come up. KO ultimate comes out as well. But Viper's playing over on A. So she doesn't get suppressed and they're able to keep this Viper wall up. Then ZexRow playing behind this Viper wall has a little bit of a whiff. But then picks up 3 for the round, along with Drone getting the opening pick as well. They're absolutely able to shut this down before it even starts. And you can see ZexRow playing in this position. Because he's got the util set up for him here, you play Killjoy here, but the Viper wall is a big factor in his success in this round. If someone were to push through here, the alarm bot would protect him, and then the wall would protect him here as he's able to swing back through this and take this fight. But it's the additional util that allows him to really get the value out of this round. Dark Ratio continue playing really smart. They set up differently again in this round. They go back to this Killjoy turret, and they're going to put the alarm bot here in mid. And we have this molly on A to deny the plant. They're also going to change up the timings and their positionings in this round as well. So Trick comes out here, shoots that Sova dart, and then just walks forward into lobby. And Brax is just not expecting this at all. And Trick gets a free one and is able to get away back onto A site. Knife comes out as well, which catches the other players here. And it's the last round of the game. So they want to get this res off, otherwise it's not going to happen. And then look, more RAZE value. This showstopper from Will, he hits it against the wall over the top of the Sage wall, just rendering it useless. Gets traded out there, but ZexRow then, another high IQ play. Look at this positioning of this lockdown. He puts it out from the wall, and that means when this KO molly lands, this lineup from Rossi that is thrown from the green box, that's too far away to break the Killjoy lockdown. In case you didn't know, KO molly does more damage towards the center. If you're in the center for all 4 ticks, it does 240. Killjoy lockdown has 200 health. ZexRow doesn't plant this in the corner to get max value of the range. Instead, he puts it in a slightly safer position, and just another really high IQ play playing around this KO molly. But if you want to be even higher IQ, I can show you a variable molly lineup that will break any Killjoy lockdown on screens. And that would have potentially changed this whole round, this whole game, this whole series for the nation. This is the final round. Now, ZexRow and Ange, they do get overly aggressive here, which makes me wonder if ZexRow actually was high Q or he just kind of threw it down. Maybe he didn't realize that the lockdown was going to live. Because if they had have just waited, the nation would have been trapped here. They had no time to get out. They were fighting as if they had broken the lockdown. Dark Ratio wins the fights. They're able to get onto site. They get the defuse and they send it to overtime. So this is a really nice round from Dark Ratio in overtime. They're going to open up this round with Will satcheling up on top of this box. There's actually a way to get on top of this box with your gun already out and ready pre-round, which is an advantage over the updraft. You see Will still pulling this gun out just as he's landing, but you can have it ready to shoot even while you're in the air. But let's come over here and pay attention to Ange. A really nice little lurk here he gets through. He hugs the whole left wall of his Viper orb and gets under the sight line of Stewie. Gets into here in a link and should have had 2, but he gets traded out by Wardell. But on top of that contact, look at this push from Dark Ratio. The other 3 of them running into sight already. They almost get Rossi on top of screens there as well. They use the boom bot, more value for this RAZE to create space. And then they get themselves into this nice post-plant position. They're going to fall all the way back into jail and behind pipes. And this seems like something they've definitely rehearsed, the way they play this contact. We also get the line up there from ZexRow to get the molly onto the spike. And then as soon as this dart comes out, Will's going to shoot it, but Drone's going to swing off of that. You can tell because Stewie darted back here, he thinks Maze is clear. Otherwise, he would have darted Maze. Or he thinks Rossi's going to be able to come here and check Maze. But he needs to do this, like Stewie swings too early here. He needs to at least dart this or let Rossi clear maze from this angle first. As Rossi makes contact with drone, you can see all three of them swing into him. And then ZexRow actually hits the nice shot on Brax, which is off screen, but he does finish that off as well. They get themselves to their own match point in overtime. And let's check out this final round. Back to defense, where they feel most at home. They go back to this mid-control setup, which they've had a lot of success with. And we get this again. Early dart here, and Will double satchels onto this box. Definitely had the opportunity to kill Stewie here. Again, just a really nice change of pace and doing things that are unexpected. When you get late into games and you've been doing similar sets of things all the time, doing something that you haven't done before at all can definitely give you a huge advantage as you and your opponent start to get into a little bit of a routine. Oh, okay, they're going to do this here and do this here, or they'll do this or they'll do that. And then you pull out something completely unexpected. This could have won the game right here if Will hits this shot. Unfortunately, not for them, but no trades come out. And now we get a little bit of a reset. Tig is going to try and walk up into showers. He gets tagged by the KO knife, but then ZexRow plays perfectly off of his own KJ turret, swings that contact. And now the Nation, 30 seconds already into the round, haven't really made anything happen. No space gained. They don't have anything toward A or toward B. Brax lurking here at the bottom of Tube. But Dark Ratio don't want anything to do with that. They don't want to give any fights at the moment. They're happy to play more of a retake. You can see the way that they're playing on site. They're holding all the first, like all the last angles. They're playing really safe in mid. They're holding back here and back here on B. They're just waiting for the info for the contact. And then they're going to converge on this site retake. They've got their early pick. They're happy with that. So Wardell here takes a little bit of time to get this wall down. And Rossi here has a really nice idea. So you can see the Nation are really aware. They're aware. They probably think Viper is going to be here. But they at least think someone's playing here because that's going to deny the plant. So Wardell doesn't plant yet to allow Rossi to get into this position to shoot this out. Now, Trick looks away at just the wrong moment and gets absolutely timinged and then can't shoot Rossi through the wall. So Rossi ends up taking out Will. He turns around and takes out Trick as well. Gets to where he shouldn't get any. See, they just call for that plant to wait. And then as soon as the plant comes through, they have the timing with Rossi and he wins both of these fights. Nice little play there from the Nation. They get themselves into an advantageous position. 3v3 plant down. But look at the agents that they've lost. Killjoy and Viper. They have to take these fights. They can't stall and delay. Killjoy mollies and Viper mollies are their best delay that they've got. And so they actually have to get more aggressive with this fight. You can see they've still got the KO molly, but that doesn't last very long at all. And here comes Dark Ratio. Slow orbs come out, but look, they isolate Wardell on this angle. They put the knife here to catch. Double mollies come down outside of yellow so they can isolate this fight. And ZexRow wins that. Wins the second one on Rossi. And then Stewie gives us the ace denial. Come on, Stu. Why you gotta do that? Let the man ace in the final round. No, I'm just kidding. But Dark Ratio, really nice play to separate that hold from the Nation in that final round. And I got to give big props to Moonchopper or whoever on the roster, you know, helped develop this comp and this idea, you know, emphasizing Will's strengths and building a comp around that. It makes me really excited for the meta in 2023. They go on to win their second map as well against the Nation and qualify for NA challenges. Congratulations, you guys definitely deserved it. Played really well in this match. And I look forward to seeing more of what you guys can do in 2023. Okay, so just like I promised, I would show you this KO lineup. You can see all you need to do is line up with this gray piece on the wall. You can also use the left click of your C with that little piece of geometry on screens there. And that's going to hit any KJ ult that ends up in the corner. And then if they start adapting and moving their KJ ult around, if it's in line with you, you can just throw it straight. And then anything in between sort of the very left side and the very right side of screens, you just want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and throw it to the right of the Killjoy lockdown from this position. And then it'll bounce down to the left and you'll be able to get it.